Hi, ninth graders. This is your March grammar tip. The topic is going to be colons, which is another punctuation mark. We're going to be taking these notes in class during flipped classroom. So if you happen to be doing your normal flipped classroom March notes for homework on Thursday, this is not part of that. So if you happen upon this video while you're doing that homework, you do not need to take these notes right now. We're actually going to be doing them in class during flipped classroom. So you can take these notes on Cornell note sheet or on regular note paper. For those of you using the Cornell style, the essential question is how can writers use colons to improve sentence fluency? We've talked a lot about sentence fluency and how that can make your essays especially much better, but also creative writing can be improved by using things like colons, semicolons, and other unusual punctuation marks. So first, what is a colon? If you are not familiar with it, the little double regular I from one of your emoticons would be a colon. It looks similar to a semicolon, but it is completely different in the rules. And a colon has three main uses. We're just going to be learning about one of them. So just so you are aware, the use I'm going to teach you is not the only use. How do you use a colon? So one of the most popular uses of a colon is when you are introducing a long list. So typically a long list is going to be more than 3 items or some kind of complicated list where you might have a bunch of different commas or something like that within the list. So for example, I needed quite a few things at the store: macaroni and cheese, milk, cookies, bagels, turkey, and shampoo. There's your colon before the long list, and basically the colon is telling the reader, hey, take a big breath, I'm about to rattle off a very long list here. The rules for using a colon before a list. So the most important rule is that the part of the sentence before the colon must make sense on its own. So what is before the colon has to be able to stand alone. And this is kind of confusing. I will show you an example in a moment. Then you also just continue to use commas between items in the list. So the colon goes before the list. You still use commas between items just like you normally would. Here is an example which shows you how what's before the colon should be a complete sentence. Michigan State played a great game. They tackled well, their special teams were excellent, the coach made the right calls, and they had a little luck at the end. So this first part could stand alone. You could just have a sentence with Michigan State played a great game. That could stand alone. Then the colon is going to list the different characteristics of the game, but you still could have the first part standing alone. What's after the colon does not have to be complete. It's not going to, because it's just a list. So if you think about semicolons, both sides had to stand alone. In this case, only what's before the colon has to stand alone. This is going to show you guys the difference between having the first part be complete and having the first part be incomplete. So an incorrect example, the problems with Holt High School are the cafeteria food, long classes, unfair requirements, and closed campus. The first part of that could not stand alone. So in that case, you just wouldn't put a colon there at all. You would leave the colon out. Or you could change it to something like, Holt High School has many problems. Then have your list. Holt High School has many problems could be a sentence on its own. Finally, common mistakes. One common mistake is using a semicolon instead of a colon. So we've learned about semicolons last month. They are different. Even though they look a little bit similar, and they both have the word colon in it, they have completely different rules. Semicolons don't come before lists. Semicolons are going to separate two complete sentences, kind of joining them. The second common mistake is not having the part before the colon as a complete sentence. So you can write that section down or not. It's up to you. Just make sure you understand that those are some common mistakes. You can do a quick test yourself here. So on the quiz, there will be some multiple choice items. So this shows you pretty much the same 4 ideas. It's pretty much the same sentence 4 ways. And take a look and see if you can figure out which is correct. Only one is correct. And hopefully you guys got the correct answer is number 2. So you have complete sentence before the colon, and then you have a list. This list is only 3 items, and you can technically have that. It doesn't necessarily make it wrong. Usually it's before longer lists, but that still meets all of the requirements. So now you guys can complete the summary for your Cornell notes, and then there's a little activity you can do as a group on your flipped classroom table. Then all of the notes can go in tab 2.